welcome to our last Crafty Kids tutorial. This summer reading club has absolutely flown by. It has not been what any of us could have imagined, but I think we just made the best of just kind of a rotten situation. But thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you for making these crafts week in, week out, or when you could. I've really enjoyed seeing what you guys have made. We had a lot of fun choosing them and prepping them for you all. So thank you. You are what make this worth it. This is why we do what we do. I hope you all have had a good summer. You have been encouraged to read and have fun by what we've been offering. And yeah, this is our last one. So we are finishing out week 6 of Summer Reading Club. We have a few more programs next week, and then we end with our end party on Wednesday at 10:30 live on Facebook. It'll run probably about till noon. We're going to be playing some games. You could win a raffle prize every 15 minutes. So please watch. It's so much fun. It's very interactive. There's some games that you guys can play along at home. You get to know us, the staff members, a little bit better. And then that's how we're going to wrap up this summer reading club. And then for the teens, we have their own library party, virtually of course, Friday at 7 o'clock. And that's through Google Meet. And you can find that link in the Facebook event about the library after hours. And then we're done. Donezo. So crazy, crazy times. That does not mean that you stop coming to the library. We still want to see you all. Just come in, wear your mask. That does not mean you stop reading. That does not mean that you stop getting your supplies. We will still have story time and craft supplies available that whole last week of Summer Reading Club. So these will still be there for you guys to give you guys a chance to make yours because we have them for you. So we want them to be used. That's why we're doing what we're doing. But thank you so much for your support. Enough talking. Let's see what we're getting into today, shall we? So our first craft is so cute. It is a snail. And this is the example that was in the kit that we have for you guys. So you're going to have the snail head, and then part of our job is to glue on the snail beads on his shell. And it's pretty simple. This is for the one that's ages 5 and under. So we'll go ahead and start with this guy, our snail. So my instructions say, using liquid glue or glue stick, glue the snail's head, this is what you got, to the back of the paper plate. So what we're going to do, so I got my plate, we are going to glue him like this. So his head is popping out, and then the back has this part that's glued down, but we don't want to see that part. So we want him kind of poking his head out, you know, from his shell, okay? So I'm going to take some glue. I'm probably going to go ahead and use liquid glue for this part, and I'm going to glue on his head. Alright, so obviously that hasn't dried yet, but you kind of decide how low you want his head to go. You decide how far out you want it to stick. There's like this indentation part right here where it curves, so I wanted the shell to be kind of coming out where that curve is. So that's where I chose to glue mine. There's no right or wrong on that part, so don't worry about it. You just glue it however you think looks good. Step 2, draw a smile on the snail's face if desired. There is like the outline of a smile, so if you wanted to color that in, you could. You could also color your snail or do, you know, like a pattern on him, on his head. I'm going to leave mine. If I had a black marker, I might just do black on his smile, but you can decorate the snail's head however you want. Step 3, using liquid glue, draw the spiral on the paper plate that will look like the snail's shell. Okay, so we want it to kind of end up, remember our example, like that. You could take a pencil if you want to kind of trace your design and then do glue on top of the pencil, you could do that because you could always erase this. I'm going to go ahead and try to freestyle it. I'm going to try to just do it with the glue, do a spiral design, and then we'll come back and do our beads. We'll see how it goes. So I'm done with my glue. I think it turned out just fine. You guys see that? Oh, when I was doing my glue, sometimes the glue would kind of skip a spot. So then at the end, I went back, and any spots that were left without glue that were part of the pattern, I just went in and touched up. You know, that was pretty easy. Step number 4, place the beads. So you have like a little baggie of beads along the glue in the same pattern. So here's going to be the hard part. You've got your bag of beads, and we gave a pretty big handful to each bag. It's going to be hard to tell if it's really going to work out on the pattern you did. So I am going to try doing my beads kind of here and there, and then if I need to, like that way they'll be spread out if I run out. So I don't have to lose my design, because you don't want to be starting your beads and have it really full and then it just ends, unless you do. Okay, so I'm a little hesitant to put this up because I don't want all my beads to spill. I'll try to do it like this. I spread mine out and it worked out just fine. I've got a pretty good handful in here that's left over. So I think that turned out really, really cute. He needs to dry, of course. But that's our snail. Very easy. I will say I needed to go through and thicken the glue in a lot of spots because my line of glue was too thin. And these pony beads are pretty wide. So you might need to be pretty liberal with your liquid glue just to make sure that they stick, and then give this guy a lot of time to dry. Oh, I forgot to mention, if you want to, before you get started, you could always color his shell, the plate, with crayons. I probably wouldn't do marker because the glue will make the marker bleed, but crayons or colored pencils, if you wanted, so his shell is a little more colorful, you could. And there's our snail. So now we're going to move on to the older kid craft. This one is really funny. I'm really actually not going to demonstrate this because it's very easy and straightforward. Here are the examples. So in your kit, you got a white cat that's like this. These are called big mouth crafts or big mouth templates if you wanted to Google them. So you have this guy that you could color, and then you could draw something on the inside of his mouth, and then you're going to fold him so he looks like this. So I drew a mouse inside of mine, and the folding is really easy. So you do a crease on this line where the top of his mouth is, and then that crease just has to meet the bottom of his mouth. Okay, that's all you're doing. Coloring, drawing something inside, and then folding it. So when you fold it, you can't tell right now that there's something in there, but when you open it, there it is. So there's a crease there, and then I creased it again in the middle. So there are 2 creases. Can you see that? So a crease at the top of his mouth, and then this is my second crease that I had to do to make sure that the lines of his mouth match up. So that's the first one. And then the second one, we also just gave you some blank pages of copy paper to draw your own. So I would recommend doing the cat first, just so you kind of get a feel of how it looks and how you need to fold it. And the second one on the blank piece of paper, I made this rock guy. And so then when you open him, he's got a tongue and some like colorful teeth. So I just had fun with that. If you Google big mouth craft template, you'll find a lot of these that you could print off, or that you can create. So once again, I folded it twice. When you're making your own, the key is to draw the top first, then fold it, and then draw the bottom. Don't go trying to draw the big old thing at once, because it won't line up. It won't be perfect. So draw the top, fold it, and then draw the bottom. And then you're going to want to make the line where the mouth is more pronounced. So I went in at the end and I did that. And then you do whatever you want in the middle. But the key is to make these lines look seamless, because it's a surprise when you open it. So if you're drawing your own, draw the top and then make your folds and then connect the lines. Make the mouth more pronounced, do whatever you want on the front, and then do whatever you want in the middle. That's it. That's your craft for this week. So you guys could go to town on these and make a lot of these. So there's our rock and our cat. And I'll go ahead and go over the instructions, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So number one, if you would like to use the big mouth cat printable included in your bag, then color it as desired. Feel free to draw a mouse or something else inside the cat's mouth. Then fold the paper on the paper line so the mouths close together. If you want to try your hand at drawing your own big mouth design, we've included a few pieces of copy paper. It's easiest to draw the whole design first, color it, and then fold it so the lines of the mouth close together. So there you go, guys. Those are our crafts this week. So we've got our big mouth printables and our colorful snail for our last Crafty Kids. Thank you guys for watching. Please keep reading. Please come pick up your craft supplies at curbside, or come in, say hi to us, and pick up your supplies. Also get some storytime supplies while you're here. And join us for our end party, Wednesday, 10:30 a.m., Facebook Live. It'll go to about noon. Winner every 15 minutes. You might as well join. Bye, guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful summer.